Hello, everyone. I think we will just jump in. We only have a short time together. So I'll just get started by saying that as a heads up, we do have this recorded for folks who can't join us today. So feel free to, close your cameras if that makes you more comfortable. And mute yourselves. That would be great. Just a little housekeeping. We will have lots of time for Q&A at the end. So if you could just hold off until then, that would be great. But if you have burning questions, feel free to add them into the chat so you don't lose them, and then we can come back to them that way as well. And yeah, welcome. My name is Emily Skye. I'm the Programs and Operations Manager here at the Haida Gwaii Institute. And I'm sitting here with our director, Carrie.
Hi, Singate Law, Carrie Vanderhoop. It's wonderful to have you join us. Hello.
Yeah, thank you so much. We are Zooming you today from the Haida Heritage Center at Kailnagai, which is sort of our headquarters here on Haida Gwaii in Skidegate. And we just want to start by acknowledging that this is Haida land. We operate on Haida territory. It's a great privilege and an honor, and we extend our deep gratitude for the support and participation of the Haida Nation in our work. Okay, wonderful. So we're a very small team here. Carrie and I are here representing, there's about 5 of us on staff. And then also on the call is one of our instructors, Kris Olsen. So a little bit later on, we'll invite Kris to say a few words and introduce himself and his course. But wonderful. I'm just going to go through here and talk a little bit about some of the courses and programs that we currently offer. So right now we're actually on day 2 of a brand new semester, the Haida Gwaii semester in Natural Resource Science. So there's a really fun buzz in the air here with our students. This is a program that runs September to December every year here, just down the hall from us. And then of course around the islands, which are also part of our classroom. We also offer the Haida Gwaii semester in community resilience, and this is a new program that we're going to spotlight a little bit further down in our presentation. It will run January to April, again, just down the hallway, and then of course in and around our community beyond the classroom. And then we also have been offering the Haida Gwaii summer session in plants, people, and place. This is a little bit different than our semesters. Our semesters are 13 weeks, so about 3 months, and they include 5 courses or 12 credits. Our summer sessions are unique in that they're a little bit condensed. They're 2 months, May and June, for a total of 12 credits or 4 courses. So it's a great program if you can't squeeze it into your usual timetable, and you can kind of do it on the tail end of the winter term. It's also a beautiful time of year to be on Haida Gwaii. The whales are here, everything's sort of coming back to life, and it's a lot of fun. And then, of course, we also offer a variety of online courses. So those happen all throughout the year, including the summer terms. You can take one online course for 3 credits, or you can take a collection of them throughout the year and actually get quite a few credits. So if you can't make it to Haida Gwaii in person, this is a really great opportunity to still connect with our Haida Gwaii community and teachings through this online format. And then we also have professional development courses, which are offered online. It's part of the Faculty of Forestry's micro certificate program. So if that's something that interests you or somebody you know, there's lots of great information online about that. Or you can reach out to us here, and probably Carrie Ann's the expert in our office. So yes, that's another exciting thing that we're doing here. So that's kind of a whirlwind of information about our current programs. And I hope that we'll have a little space and interest at the end to chat more about the details. So if you have questions, let us know in just a few minutes. Is there anything you'd like to add to this?
Nope.
Great, we'll keep. Okay, so what sets us apart? Our programs are definitely unique and distinct from courses you might take on campus or in a traditional university setting. I would say we're a blend of Western academia and Indigenous ways of knowing. That blend is through our instructors, the course materials, our pedagogy, and then also just being on Haida Gwaii, we really depend on our local community and community experts to bring their voices into the classroom, add their broad perspectives to the complex issues that we're learning about. And that really is a huge celebrated part of our work. You know, we have often as many as 50 community educators from our community, such a wide range of our, like a cross section, you know, from youth to working or visiting professionals to elders, everybody in between. They'll come in or they'll have us in their office or in their home to sort of add their experience to whatever we're learning about. And that's definitely a huge richness to the learning experience for our students. Something else that's sort of unique is we really pride ourselves on this experiential and transformative learning that happens here. We often say that Haida Gwaii is the classroom. So while we do have sort of like a traditional classroom setup that we do spend a lot of time in, we also go outside. So we try and take our learning into different venues around the islands that really support and enrich whatever that day is sort of exploring. So I'll share some photos and examples in a few minutes, but really it could be visiting people's offices. It could be going out into the field and walking through the woods, going down to a low tide survey. There's every day looks a little bit different. So that's also very exciting for students and certainly exciting for us and the work that we do connecting the parts of our community that we love with the learning that happens in our courses. And so through those community educators, there's a lot of connection, but also our visiting students come here and they live in community. So there's a lot of opportunity to develop a relationship to the people and places of Haida Gwaii, just by way of being here for, you know, several months. So that means there's lots of opportunities to participate in cultural events, in community events, to get out on the land, to go fishing, to volunteer. And what we've found over the years is that many students come back again and again because of those connections that they make. And that's something that's really special and important to us. And it's kind of funny, you know, we've been doing this for close to 15 years, so you can really kind of track our alumni, I guess, over that course. And a handful of people have moved to Haida Gwaii, you know, they've like bought homes, have started families, they're part of our community on a long-term and really impactful way. So that's kind of another uniqueness to this program. You might stay forever if you come. Okay, something else that's really different. Our courses are generally offered in block style. So it's different. Our online courses are not, but our in-person courses happen one after the other, which makes it quite intensive. So sometimes we call it high frequency. It's a very focused and interesting way to study a topic. So it's kind of a different pace than taking 5 courses over the course of a full semester on campus. While we do those block courses, we also have usually a seminar course that happens weekly throughout the course of the program. And that's kind of like the thread that ties everything together. And so while you'll have, say, like a Monday afternoon seminar, you'll also have an intensive block course Tuesday to Thursday, say. And then we often also prioritize independent study, so trying to find balance within that schedule, which is quite busy, to make time for students to go for a walk, get their groceries, catch up on what's happening week to week. So anyway, that's just a little bit on block style courses, which is something that I've found students really come to love. And it's definitely a little different than what happens on campus usually. And then another thing that sets us apart is that our programs, while accredited by UBC's Faculty of Forestry, they're open to students beyond that faculty. and actually beyond UBC. So while we do have lots of UBC students, we also have many people coming from other universities across Canada, and from other programs. So for example, our natural resource science program that's happening now, we do have a lot of students from UBC's Faculty of Forestry, which is great. But we also have students from like arts, so there's kind of this richness that happens and that interdisciplinary lens that comes from having these small and small cohorts that represent a lot of different backgrounds and experience. So that's also unique. There's a transfer of credits that happens for visiting students and even people outside of the faculty. So if you're interested in applying and wondering how do these credits make sense for your particular degree journey, reach out to us. We can help answer some of that. We can share our syllabi with you, and you can take that to an academic advisor who can help you really negotiate how the credits you could get with us could transfer back to your home program or university. So I'm getting into the weeds there, but just know that the opportunities are really open and we can help you navigate those systems. Also, this is a great photo. This is from our summer session program. This is the beach here at Haida Gwaii, right in front of our offices and our classroom. So there's a really beautiful eelgrass meadow here, and we like to do a low tide survey and check out what's happening there. So it's something you could see and do while you're here. Okay, I'm going to go through a few other slides of just examples of who engages with our students and in some exciting settings. So here we have Kunajad or Jenny Cross. Jenny likes to host our ethnobotany students who come in the summer for a plant knowledge exchange. And she does that in her yard in Skidegate. And it's always just the most beautiful day. And you can kind of see the table here. There's lots of jellies and tinctures and dried plants. So she'll go out and harvest a whole bunch before our visit, and then she'll showcase and share. And that's always a highlight. So how to Jenny. Here's another class trip we like to do a lot. This is La Gilda Haida Kilnai, or the Skidegate Haida Immersion Program. It's a place where elders gather every day to work on preserving and promoting the Skidegate Haida dialect, the Haida language. And they're so generous. They like to host, I think every group of students we've ever had has gone and visited the elders and done some language lessons and played digwe or bingo. And that's always a real treasured part of a student's experience here in our program. And here's a glimpse of a vegetation survey happening at the Anvil Trail along the Tillel River on a nice day. I think this is probably also from our last May program, but this is a trip we do in many courses. So our fall students here now will be looking forward to a day like this. Hopefully not too rainy of a day, but you never know around here. And then here's a look at our class visiting Pluhadanai, Christian's Longhouse in Old Masset, which is an important cultural space that we like to visit. So we're in Skidegate here. Old Masset is about an hour or more north of us, but we like to get our students out as much as we can into all the communities. So that's a little something too. We have some students walking by. Okay, so now I'd just like to highlight our new Haida Gwaii semester in community resilience. And this is a program that's happening January to April this winter.
I can jump in.
Would you like to?
Yeah.
Great, okay.
Just to say that we're offering it in person, and that's kind of the new part about this. These courses in this semester program was developed prior to the pandemic. So we were scheduled to launch that, and then it had to be canceled. And so what we did was during that time where we weren't offering in-person programs, we transitioned a lot of our courses to an online delivery. And so most of these courses have been offered online with really great feedback from students. And we really tried our best to, like I mentioned, continue that learning that's grounded in Haida Gwaii. And we continue to bring in community educators and try and get as much of that Haida Gwaii feel into the online platform. So we're really excited to offer this program in community again, because most of the courses were developed and taught by community members, and they will be this time around. And that's really, it's really special to us to have our local scholars and experts come in and share as instructors. So, and these are also, some of these courses are also have evolved from our semester in reconciliation studies. So we worked with creating this semester, and also continuing on that theme of reconciliation and the importance of us understanding our history and where we are, and then how do we become more resilient communities, and building the capacities here on Haida Gwaii. So I'm really excited about having this program offered in person.
Thank you. So the first 4 courses listed on this slide are the block courses that I was referencing earlier. So they happen in 3-week blocks, one after the other. And then the last course listed at the bottom is the seminar, and that happens one afternoon a week for the course of the whole program. And it's called Community Planning and Development for Resilience. And that's the course that Kris teaches that I mentioned at the start. So Kris, maybe if you wouldn't mind turning your camera on and saying a few words, introducing yourself.
Also, just to jump in, Kris is the past student from many, many, many years ago when the programs were just starting up. So
Yay.
Welcome, yay.
Hello, Santajigaitla, Itakulankoy Isis, Dluju Hinidikuga. Good afternoon, my precious friends. My Haida name is Dluju, and my English name is Kris Olsen. And as Carrie Ann and Emily said, I was actually a part of the inaugural program in 2010 for the social science, as well as in 2013 for the science-based program for the Haida Gwaii semester. Very exciting programs, and I've developed a lot of long-lasting friends. I'd like to give you guys a little bit of background to who I am. I'm born and raised here in Dodging Geets, which is formerly known as the village of Queen Charlotte, or when I was born, Queen Charlotte City. I graduated high school, went off to university. I've worked in the fishing industry. I've worked in an industry and on salmon fishing boats that no longer exist, as they've closed those style of licenses. I've also worked in the conventional logging setting on TFLs that no longer exist. So I've had a unique opportunity to work on the ocean and in the sea in commercial settings and watch industries change over time, whether it be from mismanagement of resource practices or just changing types of technology. So very exciting growing up here on Haida Gwaii and learning to work. I've also attended a number of institutions in Ontario as well as in British Columbia. I also have a number of red seals. I'm a level 1 tower crane technician, journeyman rigger, and I'm also an internationally certified arborist. And I have my own arborist business where I hold contracts with Environment Canada, Transport Canada, Department of Fisheries and Oceans, British Columbia Ferries, and a number of local residents here in the community. Currently, I'm working with Department of Fisheries and Oceans, and I'm protecting a fish hatchery here in community as we've had an outbreak of a fungus that is killing a number of alders that are threatening our local fish hatchery. So I'm working in helping protect that salmon hatchery. I'm super excited to teach the community planning and development and resiliency program course here. It's going to be a unique course. I'm hoping to use a lot of my local knowledge to help support your guys' learning. In 2005, I was elected as a municipal councillor for the village of Queen Charlotte. We incorporated in 2005, and I served for 3 terms. In that period of time, I got to witness the land use planning process, very extensive community-driven process from local leaders. I got to witness the return of Haida Gwaii. And then I took a term off. As you notice, I have an eye patch. I'm actually disabled. So resiliency is something that I live with, becoming resilient and maintaining the ability to work and become a lifelong learner, which is my lifelong goal, is to continue learning forever. In 2018, I actually became the mayor of the village of Queen Charlotte, and I helped work with council and the Skagilda, the Skidegate Haida Immersion Program elders to repatriate our community's ancestral name of Dodging Gates, which was a very interesting process, as our community had to prove consent of community with the government of British Columbia, because the idea of restoring a name had never been done before. And to do that, it required an act of cabinet, which our community, working with the Council of Haida Nation, the Hereditary Chiefs Council, the elders on Haida Gwaii, as well as of our community, we were able to formulate a plan and a process for us to move forward in the repatriation of our name, Dodging Gates. I'm very excited to be able to instruct this course and to bring my broad range of local knowledge as well as regional knowledge, as I'm hoping to bring members of the North and Central Coast into our communication in our seminars to help share this knowledge of what is occurring here within the North, as a lot of really unique and interesting things are happening, not just in policy, but on the ground as well, as we're learning to work within a changing environment. And I'm really hoping to share that experience with you and share it in person, because to really understand and feel this type of learning, you have to be here. I'm super lucky in the summers. I get to work with a program called Swan Bay Rediscovery, or Lanadagana. So I work in Guayhanas with youth of all ages, and I work in a Haida cultural youth camp, and bringing kids onto the landscape and understanding experiential learning through the Haida stewardship laws. And I'm really hoping that I'll get to meet you in the next upcoming months, and that we can work together on this learning journey together and understanding a Haida way of being and how it can help resource development planning and working towards a more resilient community and economy here within British Columbia and the world around us. So hawa, hawa, hawa.
No, Kris, that's so wonderful. I want to take your course.
Me too.
Okay, we're running out of time here, but I really want to hold some space for questions. So I'll just say that to respect everyone's time, we certainly will wrap up at 1, so feel free to leave, but I'll stay on. Carrie may stay on a few minutes as well if you want to keep asking. But yeah, if you have a question, please just unmute yourself and go right ahead and ask, and we'll answer as best we can.
Maybe we should put our emails in the chat too.
Yeah, I'll anybody got a burning question? Okay. I'm not hearing anybody ask, so I'll just go ahead and
There's one in the chat.
go ahead. Okay, let's start with Faye. I see your hands up. Hope I said your name correctly. Hawa?
Thank you. Let me see if I can put my hand back down. Okay, there we go. Thank you so much. I've been really interested in studying at Haida Gwaii or applying for a really long time. I am in Sean Young's class, online class, this semester, and I heard a couple of students were talking about that they did a course in July. It was like 1 week online and then 1 week in Haida Gwaii this past July. And I was just wondering, because I haven't seen that online, if it was like a specialized program for NITEP or if it's something that you're also thinking about offering again.
A great question. It was a specialized sort of partnership with NITEP. But interesting feedback to know that that's something you might be interested in. So maybe we'll look into that in future.
Okay, thank
Right
you.
now it's just NITEP, but Hawa.
And I'm sorry, I was wondering if you could maybe share a little bit about accommodations and what that process is for looking for housing. And then I have a really specific question that might not be relevant to everyone here, so I can keep it for the end too. But We're just wondering about daycare options for children as well.
Okay, yes, I will start with housing because that's always a real hot topic. Housing here is limited and creative. I think that people are feeling that across the province and beyond. But we have this great relationship with community. People enjoy renting to students and opening their home and sort of secondary spaces. So the process is for us to sort of do a community call out. We have a form that prospective landlords will fill out to kind of profile what's available. And then we share that information with incoming students. So you could look at our housing package, see a place that feels like it might be a good fit, and then reach out to that person directly for more detail. So we're kind of arm's length in that process and available to help and support and make sure you find a comfortable place to be. But it is also sort of community driven in that way. Yeah, thanks.
Thank
Okay. And I'll get back to you with the childcare. Thank you. Hannah, go ahead.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. Hi, I'm coming from Jojage, Montreal. And I just had a question. I would like to apply to one of the programs. And I don't own a car. Is accessibility, like what is the accessibility and mobility like in Haida Gwaii? Like if somebody doesn't have a car, is that like an issue? Is that usually a roadblock for getting places? I don't know if there's any.
That's a great question. I didn't even think about, that, but that's a great question. So on Haida Gwaii, we really don't have public transit. However, we have a program bus. So all of our students get a ride from they get picked up at their house in the morning, brought to class. And then we use that also to facilitate all of our field trips. So the bus is available to help make sure you can get to and from school every day. Outside of that, it is really nice to have a vehicle because I feel like you can explore a lot of the islands, but it's not necessary. And a lot of people here actually don't have vehicles. There's lots of bike culture. Things are somewhat centralized. So there's definitely ways around that. And usually I'd say like maybe a third of students will bring a vehicle. So sometimes there's an opportunity as a group to coordinate some of those travel pieces, but absolutely not a deal breaker. So great question.
You have some in the chats too.
Okay, maybe I'll go Doug and then Ella, and then I'll have a look at the chat. Ella.
Hi there.
Hi, Doug.
Hello. Is it possible to audit any of the courses or classes that you offer?
Great question.
Shall I take that?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Yes, it is. And we do have an auditing policy, and we're also aligned with UBC's auditing policy. And to audit the course, it still requires for a full semester program, you'd have to enroll in all 5 courses, or 4 if it's in the summer. You'd still be responsible for tuition, and then also responsible for completing assignments. And so I think people get an idea that auditing just means that they can sit in the classroom and kind of get the experience, but not have to, do the assignments but it really is requiring full participation. You just don't have to take exams, or you don't get graded on assignments.
Good.
But also
That's it.
there's tuition waiver for students, mature students over 65.
Hey, you're thinking I'm over 65, are you?
Oh.
No, I am. But thanks. You've answered all my questions. Thank you.
Thanks, Doug.
You're welcome.
Okay, Ella, go for it.
Hi.
Hi.
My question was just about, so I'm in the Natural Resource Conservation Program at UBC, and I was wondering how this would work with I want to do like the Global Perspectives program, and I'm wondering how this works with the field school component that's in that program.
Oh, that's a great question.
And the Haida Gwaii semester programs and summer programs do fulfill the requirement for the experiential part of that program. And they
Okay.
just approved that last year, so that we're an option. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. That's great to know. Thank you.
Thanks, Ella. Okay, Tim. Hi.
Hello. Yeah, a couple quick questions. First, are there specific prerequisites for any of the specific courses? Would be my first question.
Good question. There are not specific requirements. We sort of frame it as it's great to have a year or two under your belt. So they're sort of targeted 300 level third year students. But that's not to say we don't make exceptions. We really are sort of holistic in our review process. So yes, no specific prereqs.
Okay, so yeah, so like within the forestry program or anything like that, there's not a specific prerequisite
No.
there.
You actually, you don't necessarily have to be a currently enrolled student of any program to apply to our programs as well. We consider life and work experience and just weigh a lot of the interest statement, like why you want to, but we do also want to ensure that all students can successfully complete the program because they are intensive and academically rigorous.
Mhm.
Great, great. Thank you. And my second question here was, if so if I have a part-time remote job that meets in the evenings a couple days a week, is that something that could realistically be maintained while being in the program, or is the hours for the program it goes into the evening many times, or there's not internet access that could facilitate that?
Thankfully, our internet access through Connected North has really improved in the last few years, so I wouldn't worry about that. Hit and miss, but better. Yeah, in terms of timing and scheduling, I think mostly it's a time management piece if you feel like you can manage sort of like a really fulsome program alongside whatever your work commitments are. We try to wrap up between 3 and 4 most days, but just through the nature of the program, some days do run long, and sometimes there's community events or events in the evening. But we try and give notice so there's opportunity for people to plan their life as well, you know. So I would say yes, it's possible. It sort of depends on what you have capacity for. Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Kyra, go for it. Hello?
Uh-oh.
Did we lose you? Oh, there you are. Hi. Okay, we can't hear you, Kyra. I'm so sorry. If you put it in the chat, I'm gonna open that right now and have a look. Okay, yeah. Is camping an option for accommodation? Sorry, Kyra, I know that's not your question, but I'm just gonna answer it really quick because I'm in here. It really isn't, no. I can chat more if you're interested. Feel free to email, but I would not recommend that. Okay, Kyra, can you type your message? Would that work? I'll wait to see if it comes in. In the meantime, does anybody else have anything they'd like to raise or ask? Okay,
I have one question.
for sure.
This is really basic, but I've never been to BC before, so I'm just wondering in terms of like the winter environment, like is there snow? Like, because I know coastal BC is
Yeah.
different.
Yeah, we do get a bit of snow here and there. It's not like the interior. We're coastal and pretty mild. You know, we get lots of rain and wind, and that can be cold, but it's not like, would you say you're from Montreal? It's not like that kind of winter. It's different. But we help students prepare with like a packing list, and we talk about lots of those details before you get here. So we'd help you get, you know, warm and cozy.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Kyra, I see your question here about wondering for master's level students. Humorous resilience. Wow, what a
That's
cool
great.
topic. Intersectional comedy. That's so neat. I would say, yeah, we have had master students participate in our programs before. It does take a little consideration on both ends to make sure we're meeting each other in a good place. Part of that is like reviewing syllabi, maybe for a student to chat with their advisor to make sure it's a good path. But if that's something you're curious about, please do reach out to us and we can help maybe have some of those talks. But it sounds like your focus would be really aligned, and that's great. Okay, we've got another one here from Amelia. Regarding auditing courses, do we have to enroll? Yes. So that is part of it. There's a full enrollment, and many of our students, like I mentioned, come from outside of UBC, auditing or otherwise. So there's a visiting application process that's quite manageable and that we can help you navigate. So those are all dots will connect together if that is something you pursue. Great. I love all these questions. I might just circle back to you, Faye. Are you still on the call? Oh, great. Yeah, you are. Childcare. So we both also know about childcare. I would say in Dodging Geets and in Skidegate, there are some great childcare options. It's limited, but not impossible. And if I don't know at what age your children are, but between 1 to 3, it's a little bit harder. And then 3 and up, I'd say like 3 to 5 is a lot easier. And then of course, 5 is sort of into the school system. But if you have more specific questions, I could share some of the daycare and child center info with you. Yeah. Wonderful.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, folks, I feel like it's kind of winding down, but I just wanted to say Hawa so much for joining us. It was really great to connect. All of our contact info is on our website.
And in the chat.
And in the chat. Our social media is really fun if you want to get a sneak peek into the things that we do day to day. But do reach out to us. We're just more than happy to help and to talk. So yeah, take care. Oh, thanks, Sonia. Yeah, she's great. Wonderful.
Hawa,
Okay,
thank you.
have a nice day, everyone.